On this channel, Million Dollars Made Easy, we love to run numbers for people. What we do is use actual historical returns for the S&P 500 for the last 100 years, and we project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. And the resulting numbers are simply a possible range of what may happen in the future. I made this table up for you to maybe help you understand. This is for a 35-year period. Using 100 years of S&P 500 data returns, if you would have put in $200 a month in the worst case scenario, last 100 years for a 35-year time frame, you would have had 580,000. You could have had as much as 1.877 million. This shows the different percentages, how often you would have gotten to, for example, 1.5 million, you would have got there 5% of the time. 1 million, we got there 39% of the time. But what would it take to get to $1 million? Our channel is called Million Dollars Made Easy for a reason. For just $350 a month, in the worst case scenario, last 100 years for a 35-year time frame, you would have had 1,015,000. You could have had as much as 3.285 million. This shows you the different percentages. How often, for example, $500 a month, you'd have gotten to $2 million, 52% of the time, and so on. I just wanted to show you this range, and what I want to do is take this out even one step further. We're looking at a 35-year time frame. What happens if we catch somebody in their 20s? Maybe 22, they're getting their first job. I want you to notice the difference between the 30-year period and the 45-year period. It's just mind-boggling. $200 a month for a 30-year time frame. The worst case scenario would have had 287,000 in the last 100 years. The maximum you would have is 1.271. This goes down through. We're showing you every different year. This is the actual graph right here. But I want you to notice something. Going from 30 years, if you could just get started 5 years earlier, have it for 35 years, you would have had twice as much as the 30-year column. Going from there to there, you can see the graph right here. No matter which numbers you take, this is the worst case scenario, this is the best case scenario for a 30-year period. If you go to 35-year period, worst to best, it's basically almost double what the 30-year column was. You take it out to 40 years, it's basically triple. That 10 extra years basically triples what you had over the 30-year period. And you take it out to 45 years, it's basically 6 times as much as the 30-year period. You want to get your money in there working for you so you don't have to work for your money. The longer you're in there, the more your money's doing the work for you. We've looked at this graph in previous videos. Somebody investing 10,000 a year, how long it'd take them to get to 100,000? That first 100,000 is always the hardest. It takes 7.84 years, of which you put in 78% of the money, and your money earned you 22% of your money. But by the time you get to the second 100,000, it's basically a 50-50 scenario. It'd take you 5.1 years. Your money has earned you almost as much as the money you put in to get that extra 100,000. And by the time you get to this last 100,000, you're putting in just 14% of the money, and your money is earning 86% of the difference to get you to that $1 million. But folks, this is the 30-year. This is for 30 years. Can you imagine if we carry this graph out to 45 years? That's why I wanted to show you. We're just looking at the 30-year right here, and yet 45 years, you have 6 times as much. In other words, almost all the gain you're going to have between here and here is the money that your assets are earning. The S&P 500 is earning for you. It's compounding for you, not so much the money you're putting in there. And look at these numbers after 45 years. What do you need to learn from this? Get it in there. And for each 5-year period, you can get it started earlier. You're going to have these kind of huge differences in returns. From 30 years to 35 doubled, from 35 to 40, about 70% more, from 40 to 45, another 50% more. But from the 30 to 45-year period, it's basically 6 times as much. And in the worst case scenario, it's about 4 times as much in the best case scenario. But that just shows you the difference between this graph, 30-year period, and this graph, the 45-year period. Get the money in there, get it working for you, and look at the insane amount of money you can have at the end of 40 and 45 years. Get it in there. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please share this channel with your friends. Let them know there's a channel out there that'll run numbers for them. Like the video, and thanks for watching.